about, dude? Like, you're over here telling me that your mom's listening to your Spotify. What's going on with that, man?
I let her borrow my Spotify account while she does her stuff, and she's Mexican, so she plays very Mexican music.
Welcome back, guys, to the Emo Album Revival Podcast. Alex, my co-host.
Was Gucci.
I'm Ramiro. We're back for another episode.
We're back. We've been out of it a little bit, but we're back, and we're stoked. And I don't know if have you heard it in my voice. I'm a little sick, a little bit. It's California has had super crazy shitty weather, not shitty weather, but it's like super hot, then it gets really cold at night, and it's been messing with me. So my bad if I sound a little weird.
Yeah, it's still hot over here in Las Vegas. I mean, it's not like it's not 100 degrees, but I mean, it's still kind of hot, but we're enjoying it.
Yeah,
it's good.
We're still in the 95, and it's like fall already. 90, 95. It's like yesterday. You would walk out and you're just like, why?
But in California, I would understand here in Vegas if it's we're gonna hit the high at like 96. So it's like
damn. And then it's supposed to rain this week too, and it's gonna be humid. I don't understand. That's why we're getting sick. But yeah, what's up, man? What's new with you? What do you got for us listeners?
Not much. I mean, just happy that the story so far came out with the new album. I've been listening to that. I've been stuck on it. I'm just driving to work, listening to it, coming back, listening to it, going to the gym, listening to it.
Hell yeah.
On my break, listening to it. It's just it's so damn good, dude. It's so damn good. Proper dose.
I haven't got a chance to listen, but I will for sure.
Oh, you definitely have to. I'm pretty sure some listeners already are on it already, and if you're not, please check it out. My favorite song on that album is "Let It Go." Some cool guitar riffs,
like the Frozen one.
No, it's not the Frozen one, but it's called "Let It Go," and it's some really good riffs and some good lyrics in that song, and the entire album. Definitely recommend it to anybody out there that likes that type of music.
Hell yeah, that's dope. I haven't had a chance to listen to them. But yeah, I was telling you about the new band I found too. I mean, they might not be new, but to the scene or whatever, but they're new to me because I just found them on Spotify. They're called Era. I think that's how you say it. It's ERRA, and I was listening to one of those daily mixes on Spotify at the gym, and this band came on, and I was like, who the hell is this? This is dope. And it was that band Era. They have a new record called Neon, which is freaking amazing. They're such a good band. I was just showing Ramiro some of their songs right before we started this podcast, and he's already stoked on it. They're really good.
I was already bobbing my head already. I was just the song that you told me to listen to was Breach, and I was just like, dude, I need this. Yeah. I need this for the gym. I need this. I might not listen to a lot of it right now because I'm stuck on the story so far.
Yeah. But
I need it in my life right now.
Yeah.
I really do. It's just that punch that sometimes you're just itching to listen to. Sometimes I'm just like, man, Devil Wears Prada, they used to do it. It's like Moths to Flames used to do it. It's just with that hardcore music, you need that punch sometimes. Yeah. That new punch, it's just damn.
Yeah, and it
feels good.
And these guys are bringing a lot of different, I feel different styles. You heard they have some of the more melodic singing, and then they have very technical riffing with super heavy breakdowns, and then they have the screams, and they have the really soft side. It's just everything, but they make it work so good together. Like I was telling you in that song Breach, that's one of my favorite breakdowns I've heard in a while. It's just a simple riff, but it's just so heavy, and it just punches you in the face. It's dope. Era, those guys are sick, man. I've been listening to them for 2 weeks now, just straight from that new record, and I've been digging it. Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, you showed me a new band, so
yeah,
I'm definitely gonna check them out. And I mean, that's what this podcast is about.
Hell yeah.
We get to catch up. And then we get to talk about new music while we're talking.
Yeah, and then
other people get to find out about stuff.
Speaking of other people, like we were just looking at our analytics or whatever, and like it's pretty cool to see that a lot of people are listening. It's a trip because, you know, like we were saying, we do this for fun. We get to chill and talk about music, but it's awesome that other people are enjoying it as well and could be learning or could be like, you know, having a laugh, whatever it is. We really appreciate you guys listening. It's freaking sick that you guys listen to us, and for that long.
It is. And we're coming up on what is it, our 8th or 9th episode?
This is the 8th episode.
8th episode. Yeah, so it's fun. I know it's fun for both of us. We get to catch up and talk about what we love, and
hell yeah,
you know. So, but
yeah. So was Gucci.
Right now, not much, man. I just woke up. I'm just trying to get my brain to like work. I'm just like,
right?
You know, so yeah, just like, I don't know, right now, like I'm in a weird spot right now where I'm just like wanting new music.
Yeah.
It wasn't like this like a couple weeks ago where I'm just like, I was like, okay, well, yeah, I'm listening to new music, but like right now I'm just like itching to listen at all times. Like, while I wake up or while I go to the shower. It's just, I don't know. It's just sometimes I get in those moods. It's just that I just want to like constantly be listening to music.
It's a feeling we need as humans. It's a thing we need as humans to listen to music. Because what would the world be without music? Nothing.
I have some coworkers that I know that I think they drive without music to work.
So weird.
It's like I've had friends that I've driven in their car and they're just like, they don't put on any music and it's just silent. I'm just like,
that's weird.
You don't like salsa in your tacos? Like,
you don't shower with water or what?
It's like, what?
I don't get it. It's just weird.
Do you not feel?
Yeah, if you meet someone that doesn't like music, I don't think I've ever met anybody that doesn't like music. Somehow or some way. Like someone that just straight up says, nah, I don't listen to music. Like
I know a lot of people like that.
What?
Yes.
What are they humans or what are they?
I think they're robots.
They have to be. I mean, honestly, like it's just, it does, no matter what, there's some kind of music you like. No matter what. I think there has to be something that you like.
Not even top 50.
Not even
I think mainstream? They even listen. Not even mainstream. Like at least listen to some mainstream. No, I don't listen to music.
That's so.
It doesn't interest me.
It's like watching a scary movie with no music. Like it's not going to be scary. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
That's the weirdest thing. That's like the same as when someone's saying like, I don't listen to music. It's like, well, do you watch movies without like a soundtrack? That's freaking weird.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
It's just so weird. But let's just get to our topic.
Yep.
The breakdown topic.
Breakdown topic of the day. Should we play a little song or what?
Yeah, let's do it. Why not? Yeah, all right.
So
transitioning in from what we were just talking about earlier.
About not liking music.
Yeah, like, there's times, like, I was thinking about this week. I was like, man, the Citizen came out with Youth, right? And I was listening to the album Youth. I was like, there was another album that they came out with. And for me, the one after Everybody Goes to Heaven just didn't resonate with me. Like it just didn't.
You weren't feeling it?
I wasn't feeling it, and I was just like, why didn't I feel this album? But then like they came out with Jet, and I've been listening to Jet as well, and I love Jet. Like I don't understand that. Like why I overlooked one album and said, you know what? I'm just not feeling it.
Maybe it was you mentally in a different musical spot, what could it be? I mean, it could be like you listen to the first record, and then after you start listening to more like this style of music, and you've been into that, and then that comes out, and you're like, like I don't really bother with it, or I don't know what it could be. I mean, what is it? Did you just listen to a couple songs and you were like I'm not feeling it, or what was it?
So Everybody Is Going to Heaven. I don't know. Like maybe I was right. Maybe you're right. Maybe I was in a different mind state when I was listening to the album, where I just didn't. I probably listened to it and I didn't understand it musically.
Yeah.
Like where I didn't, like my ears weren't attracted to it.
Maybe it's like the whole like relating to something, you know what I mean? Because like obviously when we listen to music, we all want to, like, when we love a song it's because we relate to it one way or another, or it makes us dance kind of thing, you know? So maybe it was one of those things. Did you feel that maybe they changed their style too much, or?
I think that's what it probably was. And then at that time when it came out, it was 2015, and it's just like sometimes you're just childish with the scene where any like artists where you're just like, I want them to come out with the same stuff, because like they Young States was their EP, or that it was, what's their EP? I think it was their actual album.
The EP, yeah.
Young States. I think that's it. No, actually, it was an EP. I think Young States was their EP, I believe.
No, it has 10 songs, so.
No, the other songs are acoustic versions.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, so I think it's an extended play.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so Young States came out, and that's when I found out about Citizen, and they had this sound to them. It's just like freaking loved it. It was something different that was coming out in the scene at that time in 2011, and then of course Youth came out, and I freaking fell in love with that album.
Yeah.
But I don't know what it is of why from 2013 and like going and listening to Everybody's Going to Heaven, I just didn't. I don't know. It didn't hit me.
Yeah.
I don't know. And then now it's like, now I can listen to. Sorry, I got the album wrong, guys. As You Please is the album name.
Jet is the song off of the.
Jet is the song, yeah. So
off the record.
Apparently, that's my favorite song from the record. And it's the first song too. So As You Please, like really, like I fell back in love with them again.
Yeah. No, you know? Definitely. So, I think it has to do a lot with the moment in your life and relating to records, and then and if it's like one of your favorite bands and they also change their style up, or they change something that you really liked about them, and then they went, you know, they push the boundaries on the next record and change that, you know, some people can be like, well, I'm not really sure what to think about that, you know, and then you get into that mindset where you're just kind of listening to the record without kind of even giving it a chance because they changed a lot. But yeah, I mean, I can see where you're going with from Youth to the other record, because I've listened to both, and yeah, it was a somewhat of a change. It's weird, but I mean, and then you came back with it. You fell back in love when they came out with that song Jet, obviously, right?
Yeah. When it came back, As You Please, and there's just a lot of good songs in that album. And it's just like I was saying, like it's just sometimes you're just childish of like you don't want your band to change. You want them to stay the same, but that's not us as people. We change. We're constantly changing, and you know they've probably changed from 2013 to 2015.
Yeah, I mean
they changed as people. They changed musically.
Yeah.
So it's like I can't be upset, but it's just like probably at that time I wasn't understanding of like, okay, you guys have great music. I love what you guys were. It's like, but I don't want a Youth 2 or a Youth 3.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, and maybe that album's going to be my homework this week, and then we'll come back next week and we'll talk about it, and I'll tell you guys how I feel about it now in 2018 about Everybody's Going to Heaven.
Do you feel that sometimes bands are ahead of their time as well? Like they can come out with the record and then you're kind of like, what is this? I don't get it. Like, why did they go and do this? Does it make sense? And then like a couple months later, a year later, you're like, oh, like they kind of were ahead of the game. I feel like something like an example with that was like Bring Me the Horizon when they did That's the Spirit. And it was like, what's like, what's going on? Like, why did Bring Me the Horizon do this? At the time, it was like, this isn't Bring Me the Horizon, and it's like a whole different sound. And then when like a year later, it's like, oh, like everybody's doing this now. Like, it makes sense. Like, this is what people are listening to. But I think they were ahead of their time already with That's the Spirit. It's weird. Like, and people can end up like not liking records because of it, and then down the line they're like, oh, that okay, I get it. Like, I actually like it, not because everybody's listening to it now and it's the thing, but like some records take time to grow on you, and it's just weird. Like, it's where we're at in our mental state and our lives. I mean, for me, That's the Spirit. Like, sometimes I start to embrace I embrace bands when they change that much, because from a musician standpoint, I kind of see what they're doing. As a fan, as a listener, yeah, I totally understand that too. Like, it's like, what the hell? Why did they change? Like, why aren't they heavy anymore? But it's because as musicians and people, like you said, they progress over years and time, and they want to do different things. You know, people don't want to be stuck doing the same thing as well. So for me, That's the Spirit was like, it's one of my favorite records, and I knew it was different, and I knew eventually it was gonna grow on people, and I was just like, that's dope, you know. But like I said, it just depends on where you're at in your life and if you get it from the musician side.
Yeah, and also being able to accept change and being an adult about it, because like everybody's waiting for Carter 5 to come out.
Yeah.
But it's like, guys, you guys already have Carter 4. It's like, for any Lil Wayne fans out there, I'm not, but I just saw a meme yesterday and I thought it'd be funny to talk about this. But yeah, like, I don't want to use 2. And it's just like when Dance Gavin Dance came out with Downtown Battle Mountain, everybody was wanting Downtown Battle Mountain 2.
Yeah.
Why do we have to have a Downtown Battle Mountain 2? Like,
yeah,
could we have just had something else?
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, Downtown Battle Mountain 2 is a great album. Johnny got to come back for one album.
Yeah.
To Dance Gavin Dance, but they needed to grow, and that's when I think Tillian came in and definitely is growing Dance Gavin Dance to who they are now and what it's supposed to be.
It's crazy. Like, he has really I mean, that Dance Gavin's Dance in general is an amazing band, and every musician in it is just so good at what they do. And I can't even imagine being in a band, going into a band, like being Tillian, going into Dance Gavin's Dance, like being in a band where everybody's so good at their craft, and you're just kind of like, okay, like, how am I gonna make this any better if these guys are already freaking destroying? Like, they're so good at destroying their like instrument, because they're so good at it. Like, they just kill it. And that was a big thing for Tillian. I feel like, just going into a band like Dance Gavin's Dance and being like, okay, how can I make this better if these guys are already freaking amazing? And on top of that, like, being in a band where everybody has to control, like, when you have too much talent in one place, like, you have, like, there's a really good guitar player, there's a really good bass player, there's a really good drummer, and everybody's trying to showcase their talent. It's harder to hold back and just keep it simple, rather than like, oh, well, I'm going to do this, like, I'm going to shred this bass line here because I'm good and I can do it. And I'm going to shred this guitar part right here because I can do it and I'm good at it. And then, like, vocals, like, well, I'm going to do, like, this vocal run because I'm really good at vocals and I want to show that too. Like, so taking that much talent and, like, pulling it back, like, I can't imagine, like, how difficult that can be too as well. But I'm pretty sure they got it down to a science because they've been doing it for years. But bringing in Tillian and him being part of it is just kind of like, how would they work? How they would work that out? That must be pretty crazy.
Yeah, and having to work with a screamer that's been there, and
as well, yeah.
Also, like, the difficulties of, well, Kurt was a singer and then Johnny was a singer. It's just like all those pressures. And I mean, for me, I feel like Instant Gratification was just a little tease of what Tillian was going to evolve to in that band. And it's just like, they've had a full-on career. I mean, looking back at those albums, like, I don't know, like, it's not like how it was with Citizen. With one album, I just stopped listening to him. Like, I think them having different singers kept it interesting for me as a fan. And I still continue to listen to every album. There's not one album that I just like, you know what, I'm not listening to this album.
Yeah.
Because every album they've been able to grow.
Yeah.
And for me, Instant Gratification was like a little taste of what Tillian was going to become. And then we got Mothership, and it was just like, oh man,
yeah.
he's already in the groove of things.
Yeah.
And then like Artificial Selection came out, and it's just like, okay, this is Dance Gavin Dance now. Like, this is what we need to expect, and now we're gonna be expecting more, you know?
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it's the same with like a band like Issues. You know, they got rid of Michael. Who knows? It might have been internal problems, whatever. But at the same time as well, it was the band. It is the band trying to progress, because it's like something where like they no longer need a screamer because they're progressing into something new. Who knows? I'm a huge Issues fan since freaking the first EP that they did, the one with Kina Vamarillo, and I was like intrigued by their style of, like, you know, AJ's riffs and all that. And then, you know, the first record came out, and I was just like, holy crap. Headspace is one of my favorite records of all time. But who knows? Like, maybe their new record, I might be like, what happened? Like, well, this is just totally, completely different. Or I might be like, this is amazing. I'm going to approach it with an open mind of, okay, I know this is going to be like something completely out of the left corner or whatever. Like, it's just come out of the blue because it's Issues. And they love to freaking push the boundaries of what their music can do. But it's definitely going to be a different feel without Michael, because it's not going to have that scream of his. But I you know what? I think they're taking over screams, right? Like AJ took over the screams, actually.
Yeah,
so yeah,
for the live stuff, yeah.
I'm pretty sure he's going to be screaming on the new record. It's going to be sick. And also Sky, the bass player, is a screamer as well. So that's going to be interesting. That's one record I'm looking forward to, and hearing what they've done, you know?
Yeah, that's what I'm waiting to, and also to see them live, because they always put on a good show.
Oh, so. Yeah. And Tyler Carter's amazing live.
Is there, like, for you, is there any album that you probably were, you know, you love one album and then you didn't like the one after?
Yeah.
Like with a band or anything?
Yeah, before we get off topic again. we went on a ramble there. But yeah, for me, I have a record that it's the opposite of, like, you like the band and then you didn't. I found the first record was from Hands Like Houses, Ground Dweller, and I remember buying that record because Johnny Craig was on it. I think he was on one of the tracks.
And Tyler Carter was on it too.
Oh, Tyler Carter was on it. But mainly I was like, oh, like, I heard that track with Johnny Craig, and I was like, oh, this is sick. Like, the record must be good. And I ended up liking it. Like, it's not a bad record, but I was like, like, I listened to it actually, and I actually bought the CD. And I listened to it a couple times, and it was good. I liked it, but it's like one of those records I got over real quick. Like I said, it's not a bad record, but it was kind of bland to me. And then after they came out with Unimagined, and then that's when I was like, oh shit, like, I really like this band. Like, this is dope, you know? I feel like they really progressed from Ground Dwellers to Unimagined. Like, they really turned into Hands Like Houses there. And yeah, that's one of the records for me that, like, changed my perspective on a band. And then of course after that they came out with Dissonance, which they even pushed further, and you were just like, man, this band just keeps getting better and better. But then again, like, have you heard their new stuff? Have you heard some of their new tracks they're coming out with, like the singles? It's very different. Like, it's very not Hands Like Houses. And I've listened to them, and I'm like, okay, like, this is a little weird because it's not your typical Hands Like Houses, but I'm trying to approach it with an open mind of, I get it. They're musicians. They've been doing this style of music for so long. Like, they want to expand. They want to do something new. As musicians, you wanna reach new people. And at the end of the day, it's a business as well. So you have to expand your business, and you have to do what's best for your business. Sometimes sometimes what you do is not the best, but you have to risk it, you know? But yeah, the new songs are more. I feel like they're more like radio sound. It's weird. Like, it's just a completely total different sound from Hands Like Houses. But I can't judge like the new record that's not even out based off a couple singles. You know, so I'm waiting to see what the rest sounds like. Maybe they threw those out just to kind of like make people think like, oh shit, like what's going on here,
or to get a perspective of how they think that their album is going to come out. Because for me as a fan, sometimes I think when they release like one or two singles, is that they have a ton of material and they're just trying to see what songs could fit in that album. Yeah. Am I right, or what do you?
I feel like yes, part of that. I think you're right. But I feel like it's more of, hey guys, like we did this really different track and it's like way different than what we've done. Like, I think we should release this as a single to see how the people react to it. And once you release it and it's a lot different than what you've done, and you kind of see the criticism and what you get back from it, they kind of either see how they're gonna do, or maybe they're in the middle of writing their record and they kind of change the way they're doing things. I mean, at the end of the day, it shouldn't matter what anybody says about the music you're writing. But like I said, it is a business at the end of the day, and you want to do what's best for your business. And if that means, you know, what you're doing is not going to do that well, then you might want to change some things. But yeah, I feel like it's more of like a let's test this out and see what happens kind of thing when they release singles and see how they do. You know, obviously there's going to be a lot of fans that love it, and there's going to be a lot of fans that hate it, whether it's good or not. Like, that just happens with anything. Like, you could put out the best, most amazing song ever, and people are still gonna hate it, and there's people that are gonna love it. And that's normal. Like they say, if you ain't got haters, you're doing something wrong. Like, you need to push it further, because having haters means that you're doing something good.
Yeah, and it's just like how you're talking about it too. Sometimes you're not understanding of, now that I'm thinking about it a little bit more, you're not understanding of album, maybe because it's ahead of its time, because we've listened to Pierce Avell, and I think they're always ahead of the curve when it comes to the scene.
Definitely.
Every album that they've taken out still stands to this day, and you can still listen to it.
Yeah, definitely.
If Flair to Dramatic, like, you can still listen to that, and it still could match up to like a Issues album.
Yep. And it's crazy, like, musically. That record's a perfect example, because when I heard it, like, when I was younger and I heard it growing up, I was like, this is so, like, to me it was amazing, because they were mixing in a different flavor of music into, like, the rock music, the scene. Like, they were bringing in, like, different styles, and I was just like, this is dope, because it's different than, like, your typical hardcore and, like, all the shit that was out. And then you have a band that kind of comes in with the same style but gives it a twist. And you're like, okay, like, I'm feeling this, Pierce Avell did it. I mean, obviously Issues came in and did that. Like, they completely, like, country styles in their songs, and like R&B and all that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I love bands that do that. Like, even like when Tides of Man was playing with Tillian, like, it was still like heavy, but they had such like a different style with their riffing and all that. It was dope.
And even the lyricism too. I mean, Tillian, when he was in Tides of Man, it was you couldn't not listen to those albums at least, like, say like you listen to it a couple times a month. Like, it's just like it's just crazy, like,
good stuff.
and it was it sometimes you just got to be brought down to earth, and that's why, like, I'm glad that you said that, because, like, now I'm thinking about it, it's like, maybe some albums are ahead of their time, and now I do want to go check out Citizens, Everybody Goes to Heaven, and check it out and try to give it a chance again, and see if I could immerse myself in it, and then be like, okay, now I understand where they're at, and I understand now where I'm at with it. So
definitely, as musicians, as an artist, as anything creative, you always, people and are always trying to push the boundaries, and especially nowadays, you have to kind of be ahead of the curve, because attention span, and people are being thrown content and music at such a rapid pace nowadays that like if it doesn't catch your attention and if it's not different enough and it doesn't catch your attention within like the first 10 to 15 seconds, like it's just like, okay, on to the next, like that's done. So definitely artists and creatives and stuff being ahead of their time and creating something so different that might not make sense now, maybe in a year, is something that's being seen a lot more, I think, in the music industry because of that same reason, trying to catch people's attention. And if you don't catch their attention, it's fucking they're moving on, and your album or your single, your EP might be just forgotten in the dust, and that's that. And then you have to move, and then you as an artist have to move on and be like, shit, well then I have to push the boundaries even more and do something different, do something that's gonna catch your ear, that's gonna change something, like it's just crazy. Like I see artists struggling because the whole like fact of like not wanting to or blending in to your scene or your genre, but at the same time having to be so different,
Yeah, I think like me as a fan, sorry to cut you off, but me as a fan, I feel there's some bands that are trying to catch up, and then there's bands that are ahead of the curve. And those bands that are trying to catch up, they get left behind because the listener, like a regular music fan or like people like you and me that are constantly trying to find something new, we evolve, like our ears evolve. We're just smarter.
Yeah.
We want to continue listening to new sounds. And like for me, it's like, okay, what could catch my ear? Like a good guitar riff or something, a riff that I haven't heard that can make me feel an emotion.
Yeah, definitely.
Is something like, it's key.
Yeah.
It's key. And if there's anybody that out there that's listening, that's a musician like you, it's just like, for me, it's like, could you make a riff that can make me feel something?
Yeah.
Like, and a sort of emotion, like happiness, like, anger,
sadness.
And that's for me, that's what catches me now.
Yeah.
It's just like those, or could it be a bass drop? Could it be something that's funky?
Yeah.
That I could, or is there like some, back then when I was younger, it was like, oh, we want to listen to the double pedal, we want to listen to a badass double pedal. But it's like, now it's like, I'm not at that stage in my life anymore to get a double pedal. Like I could enjoy a double pedal, but I want to enjoy like a nice riff with, some good lyrics, or if not, if it's a instrumental, then get something to make me feel.
Yeah. I think that goes into the psychological side of music. Like honestly, like metal music is like has its crowd and it has its people that listen to metal music. But why does like heavy music and metal music have why if you really think about it, like screaming and like really heavy music and like all this chaos happening, so many people love it. But why, like when you think of the psychological side of things, like why do breakdowns do good in the scene? Why do we love breakdowns? Because like when you listen to it or you're at a show and like a good breakdown just starts, like you said, it makes you feel something. It makes you like you want to freaking punch somebody. Like if you're going through something, you're just like, oh hell yeah, like I'm gonna go in the fucking pit right now. I'm just gonna like put out all my anger. Like that breakdown like just makes you feel like you're this massive human, and you're just like have this orchestra, which like the band behind you, and you just like, and dude, like taking that feeling and being on stage and like playing that music, and it's even a crazier feeling. Like it's just you feel like immortal. Like it's just a crazy feeling. But like you said, double pedal, like why does it make you feel a certain way if it's just like it's a kick drum and a double pedal? Well, it makes you feel like it gives you adrenaline, like you're driving and you're listening to like some fucking fast-paced Delaware Prada or whatever, like, and the double kick's going, and you're gonna drive faster whether you like feel it or not. Like your foot's gonna start pressing on that gas pedal more. There's like a study or something like that I read one time that metal music makes you drive faster than normal, and it's because of that, because like the music just pushes you to do that. It's a trip, dude. It's it's crazy how music also affects us mentally in our brain. Um, there's a book, dude, that's out there for some of you that read or don't read. I don't know. It's called fuck. Hold on, real quick. Oh, it's called. I got it. This is your brain on music, and it's basically talks about the. It talks about the whole man. Like, we're getting off topic, but this is a cool thing like to talk about. Like, it talks about the psychological side of music on that has the effect it has on your brain, and from anything like, why does music make you tap your foot? Why do you like certain songs, like certain chord progressions? Why does certain music make you feel certain ways? Why does this chord progression make you feel sad? Why does this one make you feel angry? And it's a trip to read about that, because you're kind of like, yeah, it makes sense. Like, as a listener, you're listening to that and you're going through these emotions and you don't even know it. But when you actually think about it, you're like, oh shit, like that song just made me feel something. And it's like, why, but your brain perceives all that, and you feel angry, you feel sad, you feel happy. Why does certain music make you want to dance? When you're at a party, like that fucking bass thumping, you're just like, oh shit, like I just want to dance, whatever. Like, it, I don't know, it makes you want to twerk maybe. Like, it's just crazy. Like, music is a beautiful thing, and we must take care of it, and we must love it, and we must embrace it. And yeah, I don't know, man. I'm sorry. I get really deep into things.
Yeah, no, and that's good. That's totally fine. That's why we're doing this, to express our love for music and
Yeah.
let out some emotion. It's totally fine. It's just we connect with music,
Yeah.
and I'm sure our listeners do too. And it's we are going through something.
Yeah.
Even if you say, no, I have a great life. Yeah, you have a great life, but you're still going through something. There has to be a balance in life.
Yeah.
There has to be a balance. And some days I'm happier than others.
Yeah.
But the days that I'm not happy, I have music to help me through it, because that artist is probably expressing the same way that I feel through their lyrics or through their music. And that for me is why I love music, because it helps me balance out and say, like, hey, that guy, that female artist, they're making. I know what they're going through, because I'm going through it now. And you just relate. You just relate.
You relate.
And that's the awesome part about it. And hopefully one of these episodes we could get like we could get an expert on how
that'd be cool.
How I want to get stuff like that, and like I want the viewers to hear, like, maybe they already know some of this stuff, maybe some of them don't, and they don't know where to find stuff. Like, hopefully we could get an expert here that could like break it down for you and me, and also the listeners, and what drives us to find new music, what drives us to feel when a certain song is playing, or whatever it might be.
That would be because it's something that's happening to us on a daily basis when we're listening to music, but we don't realize it. It's like waking up. Like, you just wake up and you do it, but I'm pretty sure there's like a whole freaking process in your brain that happens to waking up, but you just do it. Driving a car, you're so used to driving a car, you don't even think about it. You just get in and put the keys in, you go. But when listening to music is the same thing. Like, there's a lot going on in our brain that we don't realize, and that's why we love certain music. That's why we hate certain music, and it's normal. We're human, and like you said, we're not happy every day, whether you say it or not. Like, you're gonna have your downs and your ups, and that's another thing too. Like, if you're feeling like you just feel like you're down and in a dark hole, like, music can help you too. Like, there's always people to talk to, but music is a huge outlet for expressing your feelings in a way, because that same artist you're listening to could be feeling the same exact way you are at the moment, so don't ever be afraid to talk to someone or listen to some music on your own.
And it's just getting those emotions out, and then that's just the beauty of it, And like, why do one day you wake up and you want to listen to a certain band?
Yeah.
You know, it's like, it's just maybe that was, you're having a good time that year. You're having a good time when you were listening to the album, and it kind of brings you a little bit of happiness.
Yeah.
And that's what's cool. It's like when you really involve yourself in music, either being an artist or being just a fan of the music. Like, you know, I have a lot of albums that I listen to whenever I am down.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that one time, like I went to go see them. It was a great time, and you just like relate good emotions, and it's like, okay, well, you know, my day is gonna get better now. I have that balance. Like now, I'm just like, I'm coming back, you know. So,
isn't it so badass? Like when you listen to a song or a record, and it just takes you back to that moment. That's so amazing. Like to me, like I'm just like, damn, like I'm listening to this, like I'm going back to like this, you know, whether it's a good or bad time, but you're just like, when it's a good time, you're like, damn, I'm going back to this time. Like this song takes me back to whenever I was doing this, or I was there, and I remember this and that. Like it's a fucking time capsule as well. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's like a little diary. Like each album that you probably have listened to over and over is like a little.
Yeah.
It's like a little diary.
It's like smells too. Like, oh, like that smell reminds me of when I was young and my mom used to cook this, or like it smells like when I used to go to wherever. Like they're time capsules. It's fucking weird, but they're time capsules.
Yeah.
Just like this podcast.
Yeah.
We're gonna come back 30 years from now and be like, damn, what the fuck were we on?
Yeah. Yeah, and it's a great conversation today, man, and like thanks for always making time and us getting to talk, and you know, hopefully you know, we got something out of it today.
Yeah, and the listeners too. I mean,
yeah,
maybe my fucking crazy Kanye Westish rant into the psychological world might have given you a new perspective on music or anything, just in life in general. Try to approach things with an open mind, because like it comes down to that whole thing, like you never know what's going on the other side, you know. You never know what people are going through, and we forget about that, and I'm guilty of it too. And we're quick to judge, and we're quick to be like, nah, fuck that, like that's whack, or this and that, or forget that person. But there's always like there's something else on the other side that's going on too as well. So.
Yeah, so I have homework. I have to listen to Citizen's album, and I'll come back to you guys and let you guys know what I thought of it.
Yeah.
If I still don't like it or don't appreciate it, or maybe I am gonna appreciate it.
And that's perfectly fine if you don't. It's just, it might not be your cup of tea, and that's perfectly fine too. Like I'm gonna go back to Ground Dweller, honestly, because I you know, when I listened to it, I was younger, and like I said, it was bland to me. But I'm gonna go back and listen to it. Maybe now, in a different perspective and mindset, I might be like, damn, like I can't believe I missed that riff, or I can't believe I didn't like listen this deep into this record. So Hands Like Houses, I'm not giving up on you.
Yeah, I can't say that for Citizen, because I did like their new album. So
okay,
I gave them a second chance, but I need to give that album, the Everybody Goes to Heaven,
a second chance.
Yeah,
and like I said, if it's not your cup of tea, then not your cup of tea. Like that's normal. You know, we're not gonna like everything. You know, like I'm not into like fucking Lil Pump, but I mean he's getting millions of plays on YouTube, so he's doing something right. Whether I disagree and don't like his music because of certain things, like there's fucking millions of other people that do agree and like his music. So I'm like, all right, well that's just not my cup of tea. You know, Lil Xan overdosing on hot Cheetos though. No,
something new with these mumble rappers every day, dude. Something new.
You know, have you seen the crazy? You know Noah Cyrus, right?
No, I don't.
Noah Cyrus is Miley Cyrus's sister, and she was dating Lil Xan. She was dating that dude, but they both look the same. Like they have that druggy look or whatever. Like I don't know what that whole look, like all these like rappers, they have a druggy look straight up. Like they look like they're high all the time. Like I'm not even gonna lie. Like I'm not even trying to be judgmental, but that's what they look like. But Noah Cyrus, if you haven't seen, she's selling her tears online She's selling little bottle of her tears with like, it says approximately 12 tears. Each bottle is $12,000.
Dude, I'm just
like, am I okay? Like, is she dumb for doing that, or she's really smart? She's really smart because she's like, hey, I could fucking sell my tears for $12,000 because I have a following and my fucking fans will buy it. And I don't know if anybody's bought it, but it even says on there, I think you have to go on like pizzaslime.com or some shit like that. It's like a merch store. And it says like, these tears are collected from Noah Cyrus's sadness. And like, $12,000 for tears, dude. I'm just like, holy crap, man.
She's staying sad.
Yeah, staying sad. You are you looking her up right now?
No, I'm not. I don't have the time of day to look it up. To be honest with you.
Yeah, she's staying.
But she's staying sad, I guess. So she's crying, and
that's. I thought that'd be something you'd find like at emo night or something. Like, we're selling bottles of tears.
Bottles of tears. I guess this is like the new type of emo. Is like these mumble rappers maybe. Is a new.
It's weird. Like I feel like somehow that mumble rap scene is connected to the screamo or whatever, like, rock scene. I think it's because like people like Post Malone are like bridging that gap somehow.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it's just weird. It's a weird time in hip hop, dude. Hip hop is just, it's a really weird time in hip hop.
Well, I mean, Tupac predicted it when he was alive. He predicted that that was gonna happen.
He's Gandhi, that's why. Tupac is Gandhi.
That dude predicted it. He predicted this. Like these rappers, like they do get to a bridge, and they get to a audience that is really tough to get to, because there's people that just love that type of music, and like they're not using their lyricism to cause change, to cause change, because punk music right now is not helping out to cause change in our society. And when it was doing it, it was with Green Day, Anti-Flag in the early 2000s.
Yeah, they were doing all the political shit, you know. They were going against the politics. It's just weird though. Like, I maybe next episode I want to like try and like maybe break down this mumble rap hip hop stuff, like because I feel like a lot of the people that are listening to this stuff is just people that like, they don't give a fuck. They're just like, I don't care. Like, I'm just listening to this because it has a dope ass beat and I could dance to it and just blast it, and I don't care. Like, I feel like it's a lot of that. Like, it's gotten to the point in hip hop where you could fucking say whatever you want, even if it doesn't make sense. But if it has a dope beat behind it, it's just like, it's sick. I don't care, dude. I like it, and it makes my fucking sub hit, and that's what I like. I feel like that's the people that are listening to this. You know what I mean?
Maybe I'll go and maybe in a couple episodes we could do this episode, and then I could probably go and ask around, see if they listen to mumble rap, and then interview them and get to hear their answers, and then see what we could get out of it.
I'm gonna try and find some people too that actually listen to it, and I'm gonna like try to pick their brain. Like, okay, like, why is it that you like it? What is it that you like about it? And like, what does it make you feel? I think those three questions is what I want to know, because like if you were to ask me that about like the music I listen to, why do I like it? Because it's something I grew up with, right? Rock music. Mm-hmm. What do you like about it? The aggression, you know, the feelings, like the emotions, like everything about it, and like, you know, what does it make you feel? Well, you know, if it's like a heavy song, like it makes me feel like angry, it makes me feel sad or whatever. Like, there's that to that. But like, if you ask somebody like, what is that Fifi song from Tekashi? Like, why do you like it? Okay, well, like, I like the beat. Okay, like, so, well, what do you like about the beat? Okay, well, like, you know, it has this and that. But what does it make you feel? And this, at that point, you're like, I don't know. Like, I don't even know what he's saying. You know? And it's just like, okay, so is it just the musical side? I don't know. It's fucking crazy, but.
Yeah, we'll definitely do an episode of that, and then.
Yeah. We're gonna turn this show into a psychological music show. That'd be a cool name for a podcast. This is your music this is your brain on music. I'm dyslexic.
Shit.
But for sure, are we gonna wrap this up or what?
Yeah, we're pretty much wrapping this up already, guys. Thank you very much for listening, and you know,
hell yeah.
We'll catch you guys on the next episode.
See you guys. Gucci.
Stay sad.
Stay sad. Bye.